So on average, giraffes can sleep roughly around 30 minutes within 24 hours. So that's a good indication of a mutualistic relationship. So today we're quite ambitious, so we're gonna go out and go and search for the chubby unicorns. So we're gonna be looking for the rhinos, and specifically when it comes to the rhinos, we do have a female. We believe that she's on gestation, so we're just gonna go and just monitor her and see how she's doing, and then after finding her, and then we can continue on the drive and explore and see what nature have for us for today. While we're on the search for the rhinos, we've been coming across beautiful sightings like giraffes, and then to see one just sitting down just like that, quite relaxed, and it's a beautiful sighting. So giraffes, unfortunately, they don't have the luxury to sleep like we do. So on average, giraffes can sleep roughly around 30 minutes within 24 hours, and when they do it like 2-minute intervals. So they're so big to a point whereby they do stick out quite a lot, so they can become easy prey. So what they will normally do, they will sit down like that, and then to catch a nap, they will fold their heads onto the side and then catch a quick nap, and then afterwards they will wake up and then just sit like that. So looking on top of the giraffe's head, you can see there's two ossicones. So we don't call them horns, we call them ossicones. So the reason why we don't call them horns is because of it's also an extension of the skull, but covered with the skin. So that's why we call them ossicones. So what makes up the horns is that it's an extension of the skull, but not covered with the skin. So in order to identify between the male and the female giraffe, that's also a good identifying feature. Looking right at the center of the ossicones, you can see that it's bald. So normally the males get to lose the tuft hair on top of their ossicones due to the fight. So when giraffes are fighting, we call it a necking. So they fight with their necks and they use the ossicones, and that's how males get to lose their hair on top of their ossicones. So finally we managed to get the rhino, and it's 2 in 1. So right over there we've got what we call the red-billed oxpecker. I see 3 of them on top of the rhino. So that's a good indication of a mutualistic relationship. Those birds, they feed on blood, and then they'll be removing the ticks and then feeding on the ticks that has got blood. So in return they get to clean the rhino. So they get to have food from the rhino, and the rhino get to have somebody to remove off the parasites. So which is a good relationship between the two. It's benefiting both of them. So looking at those ears all the time, you can see the ears move back and forth, back and forth. So one will be pointing backwards, one will be pointing forward. So almost like a radar that normally detects every sound that can be detected around the rhino. So while they're busy feeding with their heads on the ground and eyes close to the ground to see what they're feeding on, they normally rely on the sense of hearing. So looking around, finally we got to find the rhino, and the sun is about to go down. So we still have just a little bit of light available, but where we are now, we're currently covered in the shade of the mountain, and you can see the split between the shade and the light on the other side. It's been a hard search for today looking for the rhinos, so it seems like they were not interested in being found, but fortunately managed to find this guy today. So we're gonna call it a day.